In a world where magic is controlled by law and government, mages are both coddled and persecuted. Cori Monroe knows she isn't a mage, and her best friend is. Reality isn't always what you know. If you are looking for an urban fantasy with found family, an education-based magic system, and evolving storylines, try My Luck by Mel Todd, book 1 in the Twisted Luck series, available exclusively on Amazon.
Branded as traitors and exiled from every city along the crystalline sea, brothers Kildare and Zidane struggle to find their place in the world. Burning with the fires of vengeance, they lead lives as instruments of blood and steel, beholden to no one. By a cruel twist of fate, the two encounter a mysterious tribeswoman who will change their destiny and the fate of the entire world. The Raven and the Crow, Dark Storm Rising, by Michael K. Falciani, and narrated by Joshua Saxon. Available from Three Ravens Publishing on Amazon.
(1954), the year of the asteroid, the year of change. It altered the world forever. People began to develop unexplained abilities. Biological, enhanced, nascent talents seemed to appear at random, while others, well, they were just bent. In '58, Alexander Lloyd became America's most wanted criminal, and today he is still at large, but it's much more difficult to hide, and it's becoming harder to do what he does. Annoyed with Lloyd, Book 1 in the Bent series by Christopher Woods, narrated by Deborah Beaucoeur, available from Three Ravens Publishing on Amazon.
Hey there, stranger. You looking for a good time? That's not what you were expecting. Well, it's too late to back out now. Here comes TDB Pirate Radio.
Hello and welcome back. Hey, wait, why is Siska in the middle? I want to be in the middle. There we go.
Hey!
You are in the middle.
That's the way they became the hillbilly bunch.
I like being in the middle. It's a fun place, especially when you got group.
Yeah, I heard that about you.
You're a monkey.
So does that mean I have to look up at you, huh?
Yeah, you got to look up at me. And then I can just like, yeah. Okay, so welcome back to TDB Pirate Radio. It has been a long minute since we did this. I think the last episode was in February, just after the Superstars Writing Seminar. So this one tonight is going to be a follow-up of LibertyCon, Imaginarium, and we're going to touch base a little bit on DragonCon thanks to Doc Siska, because I'm going to force it out of her and threaten her with not getting any more mead.
It's Saska. It's pronounced with an E because I'm Hispanic and we have to be difficult.
I thought it was Siska. Okay.
No, it's just most people think it is.
Okay. Well, my bad. I'm sorry. You didn't get that right.
Okay.
All right. So go up and around the top. Ladies first. Introduce yourselves.
Melissa can go.
No, you go first.
Okay. I was being gracious and nice. Oh, Alyssa, you go and then I will go just to annoy Hillbilly.
Damn it.
All right. Hello, my name is Alyssa Casto, and I write a little bit of everything across the genres. I'm still a pretty new writer, but primarily I love to write in fantasy.
That is awesome and amazing. So I am Seska Small. I probably here for the many different hats I wear in fandom. I co-host the Blasters and Blades podcast, which is where you'll hear me called Doc Seska the most. But I am a staffer with the con suite of LibertyCon's con suite. I have volunteered at multiple other conventions, and I am the fantasy literature track director at Dragon Con, as well as the host and co-organizer. I'm half of the brain that brings about Page to Stage, which is a literary-based international costume contest.
Okay.
Just a few things.
David.
Life.
Well, rounding out the ladies on the top row. My name is David. I write stuff. I'm into urban fantasy stuff, supernatural, and kind of found a love of I guess redneck comedy horror. You know, like that's a pretty awesome genre to just come out of nowhere. But mostly, I just enjoy writing anything that is absolutely absurd. So that's me. There you go.
So where's my trailer park story? Because if you love absurd, then it fits into that.
I gave you a really absurd one.
Oh wait, that's right. That's right. You sent it today to Phil already. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Holmesy, are you asleep?
I am here. Okay.
He's perfected that NCO awake yet sleeping face.
What the hell is that? You're like
That was the
meditating.
providence of the E4 Mafia.
No. I'm senior NCO who just sits there and waits for everybody to stop running their mouths. And you guys say next slide, and I just push the button. My name is John Holmes, JF Holmes. I am no lady. And well, I don't know, sometimes. I am a writer. I write mostly military, science fiction, and fantasy when I can actually write. And I run Canon Publishing, which focuses on the same. And I live up here in Yankeedom, so I don't get to as many cons as I'd like to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, I am eclipsed by the beauty that is my wife when she goes to conventions. So I am but a pale moon to her sun. There you go. Okay.
Wait, she didn't hear you say that. You don't have to say that again in front of her.
Do it. No, I say it all the time. And at this point, I just say it, and people are like, "Oh, we understand."
We love you, Karen.
She is very good at selling your books for you.
Well, it's funny because on the way back last time, she's like, "Oh, I saw so many people," and then she goes, "Should I be handing your cards out?" Yeah, but that's cool. Yes, she does. She's awesome.
All right, Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael LaVoice. I didn't go to either one of these conventions you're about to talk about. I did go to 20 books, but I am a former ghostwriter. I've written lit RPG, military sci-fi for other people. Recently had a fantasy short published in an anthology. And my main wheelhouse, though, is space opera. And that's what I'm about to release this fall. Book 1 in my series, Galaxy's Most Wanted, will be coming out from Aethon this fall. So a 4-book series.
You said you're a ghost writer? Former ghost writer?
Former ghost writer, yeah.
With the skull and the flames and
skull.
Yeah.
You should put that on your business cards just for funny.
How do you give that up?
Glorious.
I mean, you know.
I've heard that Aethon's doing a lot of good stuff over there.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Cool.
They did a book with Blue Diamond Phillips.
Now, our baby author, whose first book just came out last month, has never been to a convention yet that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Introduce yourself.
Right. All right. So my name is Peter Stanley, or at least that's my pseudonym. My real name is incredibly long and winded, so let's just stick with Peter Stanley for now.
Pyotr Mizjuski.
Yeah. Like I said, let's stick with Peter Stanley. I'm all the way in the deep south of the Pacific on in a
like
place
noon
called
for you,
New
isn't it?
Zealand, otherwise known as Middle Earth. So I'm sure John will be very familiar with the scenery and how beautiful New Zealand is.
New Zealand has like a 2-week Lord of the Rings convention that's super serious.
Yep, very serious.
You guys
We
take that fantasy
our
stuff
Middle
to heart.
Earth status very seriously. So what else I can tell you? All
No,
right.
I'm just always impressed by it. It's on my
And
bucket list to go there.
just because I can, because I have the power. Does that cover look familiar?
Oh, nice.
Look
Hillbilly,
at
that
thing.
person looks way better than you. Stop trying to claim it's
No,
you.
no. Look down. Look down. Look down. Look at. Look.
It's Peter.
So I snuck like 5 pictures of him off Facebook and had the artist, okay, take this, run it through Midjourney, jam it all together, put a helmet on him, and then she did all her doctoring and everything else that she does, and it turned out beautiful. And he wanted an XCOM style cover, and I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work. Nah. I got to thinking about it. I was like, we can make this work. Screw it.
It works. It's just fun to tease you that you wanted to look that good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, makes me look good. So here you go.
Okay,
So
that's the publisher's job.
And for anybody that doesn't know who I am, I'm William Joseph Roberts, aka Hillbilly. I write sci-fi, fantasy, horror, anything the evil mind squirrels demand of me, and I am the lead publisher at Three Ravens Publishing.
You have more names than I do.
You sure about that?
And I am Hispanic.
Okay, so let's start off with Liberty.
So your middle name is like Maria twice? I'm just asking.
Nope.
What about LibertyCon this year?
That's not really for this.
Was good, and what about LibertyCon was bad?
I will later.
David, on, because I know you two were there.
Well, I mean, it was great to see everybody again. It went by in a big blur. It should be longer. I mean, there's just so much to interact with people and deals to make, and I go there to find new writers and try and get people to promise me they'll write me a book 5 years from now and stuff like that. And to get called the goddamn Yankee, what are you doing down here? But
You are our favorite goddamn Yankee. Thank you very much.
I'm like the only one. I brought some new ones with me, so you guys are trouble. But no, I think
David's up in your neck of the woods. Not quite
Yeah,
anymore.
I know. We might actually. I might ping you to get together next week, Dave. I'm going to be out in Massachusetts.
Yeah. I'll be here.
But I think the best part of the LibertyCon that I enjoyed the most is the panels, right? So we put on some really good panels, and Rich and Brandy. Does Brandy work on the panels? I don't remember.
No,
They
Rich
put
is
up-
on the programming.
Yeah, the program is really, really good. It's not all just the generic, like how to be a writer or how should you write a fantasy book. There's a lot more things involved in there. We had a great panel on the Ukraine war and how it affects the future military tactics, and there's just so many different things for everybody to do. I get kind of mad because I can't go to everything I want to go to, which is always an issue. But the other really good thing about it is it still feels like a small family when I can remember who everybody is. But that's what I have Karen for. It feels like you're seeing your old friends and making a lot of new ones.
Liberty really is a family reunion at this point for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you live down there, but still, I know I met David down there, and we had an interesting introduction, so to speak. And it's just a place to, and I saw Siska, and I told you looked great because you did, and she ran away. And Hillbilly,
I was chewing on something else. Oh God, she's got her bag. What's she got?
And Hillbilly, I got a word in edgewise with you. So I mean,
I was going to say, see, we do such cool.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that was now the cons of the con for LibertyCon, so to speak. It's much more a writers' convention than a fans' convention, so you're not going to get the same experience I would guess that you would get from DragonCon. The numbers are much more.
The numbers are way different.
Well, so the numbers are different, but some of that is the numbers are actually capped by the bylaws.
No, I know that. I mean, like the ratio of writers to fans.
Oh yeah, I did the math one year. It was like one author for every 3.5 badges sold.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, there was never supposed to be a whole lot of fans with LibertyCon anyway.
Right.
It was a writers' convention. It was a business convention to learn the craft and the business of.
Yeah, I had some people who were first timers there who said, why didn't I sell any books? Because it's not a place to sell books. It's a place to meet other writers and kind of, and also connect with the fans that
It's one of those places where, and I've literally seen it happen, where people will put contracts in hands on panels. That's how I was there when Mike Massa got handed his first contract with Bain. Tony Weisskopf literally walked up on stage and handed it to him in the middle of a panel.
Yeah, I've done handshake deals, and the last book we published was a Fey Wars book that I literally bumped into Jim Copley on the elevator.
I would say the biggest piece of advice, and I tell this to every new author, is definitely true at LibertyCon as well. Probably more so at LibertyCon, which is if you're outside your room, or if you're in your room and you have people who are not staying in that room, you are on stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you do not know who you are going to run into. Because the nice thing about fame as an author is you're famous at the convention, and when you go home to the grocery store, you don't have to deal with it.
Yes.
David.
Yeah, so that's a really funny point to follow up on. So this is my second LibertyCon. Last year,
really,
I'm still a puppy. Yeah, last year I went. So
last year,
yeah, I was around just kind of lurking. My brother lives in Oak Ridge, and he's been going for years. And my sister-in-law knows like everybody, and so he's like, hey, you got to get, you've got your book out. You got to get some traction, go and like meet some people and stuff like that. And so I went last year, and I'm like, all right, like I've got my sense of humor, right? So I've got one of my old business cards that I had last year. I don't know if it's going to show up reverse or not, but that's my old business card, right? And I started.
If you can't read it because you're listening, it says, "Hi, I'm David. I try to write good."
Right. And so I go and I'm talking to a couple people there, and one of the guys I'm talking, who's the guy that was the master of ceremonies last year? I forget his name.
Chris Woods.
No.
No, Chris Woods was the.
He does the publishing with the military, like hardcore military.
Chris Handy.
There you go. And so I was chatting with him, and I hand him the card, and he looks at it, and he's a military guy, and he was like stone cold, saw the card, and I'm like, well, okay, so maybe that didn't work, so like I got a feel for it last year, but I really enjoyed the vibe of everything. Everybody was super friendly, loved the diner, and it's like, all right, this year I got to go and I got to get a table. I got to like maybe sell some books, meet some people and stuff like that, and just try and maximize the time. It's kind of what John said. Like it is a whirlwind. Like it's over in a blink. And
this year really flew by for me.
It did. I wanted to see the panels. I wanted to do the things and all that. And it was like, and then I was on a couple of panels this year, which was different. But it was the same thing. Like, I don't know who the hell I'm sitting next to. I don't know what any of these people look like. So I'm sitting there on a panel. I'm like, who's this hippie dude sitting next to me? And it's John Ringo,
Wait,
I mean, he does look kind of like a hippie.
With Ringo?
That's accurate.
So he was the
moderator to the core. That's what Ringo
for Meet the Newcomers. He was the Meet the Newcomers moderator.
Okay.
And but I'm like, all right, like cool though. Like I scored some points. I got him to laugh because he asked us if we wanted to, if we could write with any author, living or dead, who would you choose? And I said, well, the illegitimate love child of Ayn Rand and H.P. Lovecraft, right? And so he's like, all right, Fountainhead with like Cthulhu, like I'm into it. And so like, okay, I'm meeting people, and then we're at the coffee clutch thing, and I'm sitting down. And I'm sitting next to this dude who seems like a nice guy. And I'm like, hey, like, who the hell are you? And he's like, oh, my name's Jason Cordova. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's good to know.
Watch out for that Cordova guy. He's strange. So, like, he's sketchy.
I just kind of stumbled my way through. Like, at one point, I was in a fog from all the mead that I had that evening. And then I'm reading Space Pew Pew. And it's like, it's all over in a blink. So, like, the pros of it all, though, it's just really great to hang out with people that are just passionate about this kind of things. I can just kind of let the sense of humor go, and like it's all good. The cons, I mean, look, it's over real fast. It seems like it's so hard to wrap your head around that scheduling. All right, I need to be in these places, but I really want to see this, or I really want to talk to this person. Everybody's running from one room to another. It's very difficult to get some relaxed time with somebody to just have a talk. And so, that was the most difficult thing, that and like being delayed by 19 hours because of American Airlines on the way home.
That was a nightmare this year.
that was brutal. It was brutal, but I'm grateful that I had a chance to go and just connect, and more than anything, just be able to read my words and share my work with people is the most important part. And I'm just, I nailed my tickets this year, and I'll be back. So, but I'm driving this time. I'm not going to deal with the plane thing.
Well, last year, if we crossed paths, I did not get your card because it's not in that stack.
Oh, well, there you go. All right.
Damn, I'm impressed.
I'll have to send you a poker chip, man.
Oh, I got your poker chip for this year.
Oh, you got the poker chip? There you go. I'm happy to send them out. I've got 200 extras. So
I take all the cards that I get from whatever convention.
What is it with poker chips now? I mean, I've got poker chips from Hopper and other people. It's like
I don't know. I just want it.
So
I honestly don't.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. In my debut novel, casino is like a big part of the scene, right? It's like a lot of the novel takes place there. So I made one that has the logo for the casino and put the QR code to the book on the back. And I was just flipping these. I actually just heard from somebody. Actually, my brother called me and he's like, "Hey, somebody on Facebook was saying I wanted to buy this guy, but all I have is this stupid poker chip, and I don't know how to use my phone and a QR code." And sure enough, he posted up a picture of the poker chip on there. I have no idea who this guy was, but apparently I talked to him for a half hour. So like,
and that is a con entirely.
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
Don't ask me how many times I had to meet some people for me to remember them.
For the purpose of pitching that book, that's beautiful. In general, I hate them.
Right.
Because it's just odd shaped. I mean, when I'm collecting cards, I stuff them in this one pocket. That's it. I get a bookmark. I hate it because I'm going to fold that bookmark over and tuck it down in. It's got a tassel. I'm probably yanking that tassel off. It's just like the square ones. They don't fit right in the stack. So when I'm trying to get them together, I'm like,
I did the normal ones. I got my normal ones, but that one I was just like throwing them at people eventually, like just like, here, just take a freaking chip and like off you go.
Can I tell the story there, David?
You can tell the story. Just go ahead.
So it was late. What was it, like almost midnight? And I was talking,
Saturday night. Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to him and his wife. That is your wife, right? Yeah.
My girlfriend. Yes.
Yeah, and we were talking about advertising, and I was being my obnoxious, conceited self. And I'm like, listen, you got to sell things to people, right? So I grabbed the poker chip and I go to the girl that's standing there. And I said, I hold it up to her, and she's like, "You know what this is?" I said it over, and she's like, "It's a poker chip," and she's really interested in it. I'm like, "It's a god because it's kind of representing in this book. It represents the god of greed." I was just making shit up, right? And she's like, well, "I'm really just, I just want to see what the QR code is." I'm like, "Okay, all right, here you go. Here's your chip." I feel like an idiot, So it was probably much funnier because we were so freaking tired, but
it was good. It was good.
Now for LibertyCon for me this year, absolutely flew by way too quick. I did not sit in on any panels at all. I was going from one to another and just I was on all kinds of panels. So I really didn't take a break, but that's okay because I'm still working the cons, I'm still doing the hustle. And Rich knows I'm game for it, so we roll. It was weird at Imaginarium because I had like 6 panels all together for the entire weekend, and I had time in between. It was strange. But I went to the table, I worked the table, let Mama and Bug go wander and everything. So, Alyssa, give us your input on Imaginarium, because this was your first real con, right?
It's my 5th con in total but it was my first time going to Imaginarium.
Okay.
So my impression of it, I definitely love going to the conventions. I have a lot of fun at them and just connecting with everyone. And I did have some friends that were going there, so it was nice being new to this one in particular and knowing that there was somebody there that I knew, and fun meeting all the new writers and creators down there. So compared to some of the other ones that I've been to, I would say that it was probably one of the smaller ones, small to medium, from what I've seen so far. And then in terms of my experience, the number one thing that I struggled with was whenever they opened up registration. I don't know if I read it wrong or if it was the way that it was phrased. I'm not quite sure, but the registration for vendors was at 9:30, and when I tried to go down to register, they turned me away. I thought it was for guests and it was just for vendors. And then the first panel, well, for the guests, it was to register at 11:30, and then the first panel was at 12. And I really wanted to go to that, and it was just too quick. I couldn't make it to that first panel.
Yeah, they had some scheduling issues going on there that a few of us have noted.
Yeah, it can be difficult.
They don't open up their registration for guests and vendors on Thursday like Liberty and Chattacon and all them do. They wait till Friday. So it was Friday morning.
And what do they do on Thursday?
Huh?
Prepare for this. What do they do on Thursday? Batten down the hatches?
Getting everything ready? I don't know. Well, what else you got, Alyssa? Anything?
So yeah, actually, there was something else. So for this one in particular, one of the other things I noticed was, so with the conventions themselves, you need a lot of introverts. Like that's a big thing. And at this one in particular, there was a space for people to go and mingle, tables set up in like a circle along the backside near the game room or in the front lobby. But all throughout the vendor hall area, there really wasn't, that I saw, too many little spots for people to kind of tuck away to the side.
Yeah.
If they were just overstimulated or just needed some break time. And I thought it would be such an interesting addition to create little clusters of chairs or something like that for just people that get overstimulated or need a minute.
There are some up under the stairs where you get to that one room, and I don't remember the name of the room. We found them last year, and that's where we held court.
They're big on holding court at convention, for what I've seen.
Oh, some conventions are nothing but a series of court.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why are you staring at me like all menacingly there, Piotr?
I am not.
Society.
No,
he's a baby. He doesn't know better. Be nice.
Okay, well, we'll get to you in a second. Just hold on. All right, wait. No, this way. Michael.
Yes.
Tell us about 20 books.
Well,
wasn't that a long time ago?
Wait, I thought
it was
November.
It was in November of last year, but it's the only writers convention I've been to.
You need to get out more. Saga's great.
Yeah, tell me about it. It was also my first time in Vegas. So...
Wait, you're up in Virginia, aren't you?
No.
Where are you at?
Tennessee, just outside of Memphis.
So what's your excuse?
Yeah, why?
I ran out of money.
Well, okay,
that's a very valid excuse.
That's real valid.
I ain't rolling into Ducky's yet, but I went. We went up there, and I had been doing some ghosting for people, and they wanted me to come up, and they wanted to introduce me to some other people. And then I get up there, and the people that asked me to come up, I never saw, but maybe for 5 minutes the whole time I was there. So I was like, this is so awesome, I guess. So I'm wandering around, and the first person I run into is Jeff Haskell. And okay, I know you. Oh, there's Rick Partlow. I know you too. Can I just hang out with you guys?
Very nice guys.
They're super, super nice. And ran into Jonathan Brazy as well.
Also, very nice guy.
Super nice guy. So I just kind of rode their coattails almost the whole weekend until at one point, my wife and I had gone out for dinner. We came back, and I was still recovering from a knee surgery. So I've been walking all over Vegas, the Strip that day, and I was wiped out. And we walk into the lobby, and here comes Haskell and Partlow, and Rhett from Athon and Steve from Athon, and they're all headed out. And they say, "Hey, why don't you come with us? We're going to this coffee bar. We might play trivia. I don't know." And dude, guys, I was like ready to pass out. I was seriously, and I said I couldn't do it, man. I gotta get off this leg because I ruptured a tendon that connects my muscle to my kneecap, and I was still in some serious pain. But they were really cool with it. But we still hung out in the lobby and talked for like an hour before they eventually wandered off.
The long goodbye.
Yes, it was. That's how I ended up meeting them. And then one of the persons that I've been doing some ghosting stuff for actually had asked me to write this series that I just finished.
Nice.
We were gonna do a co-author thing, and he just stopped checking in with me. So I said, okay, I'll just keep writing. So I wrote the first 4 books and the first 3 books in the series. We had planned 6. And then he finally got a look at it and says, "This is so much you. There's no way I could inject anything into it that's going to make it us. It's just not a good fit for us as a co-author. But I'm going to toss you over to Athon. They usually take my recommendations on people. And so let's start a chat session with Rhett." And there I'm in a messenger sessions with Rhett, and we're talking about this series of books, and one thing led to another, and they ended up asking me to do a contract with them. So
nice. Congratulations.
Really weird backdoor way into a publishing deal, as far as I know.
Not the weirdest one.
I'm sure if Ringo's around at all, it can't be as weird.
No. I know somebody who got one because he was a dog trainer.
But I'll tell you, probably the best thing about 20 books, in addition to all the panels I sat in on and everything that I learned, was the 30-minute conversation I got to have with David Weber after a space opera panel.
Wait. You got out in under 30 minutes? I mean, I love David, but not even my 9-year-old could do that.
Only because his wife came and fetched him. That was the only reason.
That's why. Because Sharon dotes on Vikings, so she just lets them talk.
But David he's one of the reasons I write. And to be able to meet David and then just sit down and talk about what it's like, I mean, everybody's probably got a story like that, I'm sure, from conventions, but that's mine.
Well, I mean, and those random meetings and things like that, you sit and talk to the guys from Athon, Rhett, for an hour, you said, in the lobby. Well, he already got to meet you, so that's one thing. He can already start sizing you up.
Right. Yeah.
And if you know Rick and you
knew who you were talking to.
What?
I said, at least you knew who you were talking to. One day you'll talk to me about
how
I met Jody Lynn Nye story.
Look, here you go. Mid-South Con 1995, the very first convention I ever went to. It's a fan convention, not a writer's convention. I had played a 3.5-hour live action game of Cthulhu that spread the entire width, breadth, and length of the hotel, right? It was blast. It was so good. I got killed 15 minutes before the game ended. I was a sleazy guy. I was working for everybody that was vying for control of the place, except my actual boss in the game, and they found out and killed me. So I'm standing there fuming, watching 2 of the groups I'd worked for join forces and win. And this little nondescript guy in a tweed jacket walks up, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's all right. I just got eliminated from this 3.5-hour game." And I look down, and hanging on his belt is this gorgeous Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi lightsaber. Looks like he stole it from Lucasfilm. And I'm like, "Dude, where did you get that? Is there a dealer room I don't know about? Where'd you get?" He goes, George Lucas gave it to me. And I'm like, yeah, okay, come on, really. I'm not going to tell anybody. Where's the dealer room? He goes, "No, George Lucas gave it to me." Then I saw his name tag. Timothy Zahn. Oh, yeah. I guess George did give you that. So yeah, that's my story about not knowing what I was doing or who I was talking to.
Well, okay. So, wait, hold on. We got a comment here. What is this? Yeah, that's cool. I don't know who. That's James Copley. I don't know why it's not pulling the data through.
I don't know.
But okay, I got a good story like that too. But Peter, you've been looking into the con scene down there in New Zealand. What is there down there?
Yeah, give us the tea, man.
Well, a lot of the stuff is actually happening around like Auckland and like North Island, and there's another one coming. There's one in Christchurch, which is further up north from where I am. So, unfortunately, the convention here in Dunedin isn't as further awesome up north from the convention here in Dunedin isn't as further up north from the convention here in Dunedin isn't this is so weird. I'm getting an echo.
I think I got it. All right. I don't know what I started from. I think it's actually Peter. Did you hit play on your video?
Yeah, because I got a comment from Jim Copley, and he said, "Ask."
Oh, okay. It was your fault, Holmes. Oh wait, no. Your fault.
Choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the conventions here are predominantly located around Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington. Unfortunately, I'm way too south to just pick up and go for the weekend or anything like that.
Okay.
Due to logistical issues.
You're on the Southern Island too, aren't you?
Yep, I'm on the south of the South Island.
Okay.
So I like to say I'm on the butt end of New Zealand. But it's a nice butt.
I mean, butts are important, and if they're nice, it's even better.
So. Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
you will have to show us some pictures one day. I really want to see pictures of how beautiful it is. I've heard New Zealand down there where you are is captivating.
Wait, let me get this straight. You're soliciting butt pics now?
I am soliciting very specific butt pics.
Butt pics
okay.
New Zealand. Okay.
I am a single woman.
I'm not judging.
If you're asking for butt pics of New Zealand, could that go down a Lilo and Stitch tangent? From the photographs that she was taking on the beach of all the weird people.
I mean, I take pictures of weird people all the time. What do you think I'm doing when I take pictures of you?
Right, you go to con. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
I take pictures of you.
Why? Stalker?
Because you're weird.
I'm an adult. Okay. All right, Seska.
Yes.
See, did I say it right this time?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, with Dragon Con, what's besides the
wait?
people,
you're not going to ask me what my favorite part of LibertyCon was?
You already kind of spewed into everybody else's conversation. Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
I really liked that LibertyCon has continued since James Moore died. The shoot, which I honestly have to attribute in part to Ginger, his widow, but also to John, and that means Holmes, and that means a lot to me.
We had a lot of fun. We had a good time.
The other thing is, I joined the Southern Fandom Confederation, which has a whole bunch of really cool members, including it's mostly other con organizers, so it's really kind of cool.
Wait, so okay, I know about the Southern Fandom website.
So LibertyCon this year was co-host to Deep South Con.
Right.
And I am the programming director for Deep South Con next year. So I'm a little busy.
Oh, you're all shit now.
Careful, somebody might think I'm a grown-up.
Oh yeah. Okay, so but with Dragon Con, I mean, besides the number of people, because LibertyCon and Dragon Con basically started at the same time, but LibertyCon was different from Dragon Con.
LibertyCon's a little older actually than Dragon Con.
Okay, I thought they were right there within a few years of each other.
They're like sibling age.
Because they both spawned off of Chattacon originally.
No. The first Dragon Con happened in conjunction with a Worldcon.
Oh, okay.
And it originally was more of a comic thing. and then it spun into being Dragon Con. And it actually, I am the director of fantasy literature track, which several years ago, 2014, was the first year of fantasy literature. And before that, most of the people who are currently manning fantasy literature were part of the World of Anne McCaffrey track, which is ironically a sci-fi track.
Okay.
I know my histories.
Well, I mean, for writers, and okay, you got you and Sue running most of the panel,
Okay.
literary side. What can we expect as authors?
So okay,
go to Dragon Con.
So
I know,
at Dragon Con, one second. At Dragon Con, we have what I call the pure literature tracks. These are writer's track, sci-fi literature, and fantasy literature. And we are located in the Hyatt International Tower on the Embassy level. So you go down 2, or you go all the way to the bottom and go up 1. Can you tell I've given these directions before? And then we also have other tracks that also cover literature that are multimedia. So we have horror, YA, urban fantasy, diversity and speculative fiction, as well as urban fantasy and alternate history. So we have like 9 to 10 and we have a children's track, and which also covers some literature stuff. So we have like 10 that touch on literature, but 3 what I call purebred.
Okay.
So, as authors, I would say the biggest thing, if you're an author listening to this who's applied to Dragon Con and gotten in, is go look at the website, go find and look at the descriptions. And if the descriptions don't make any sense, download the app and look at previous years to see what that track's themes are that they like to hit on. And then email them, because here's the thing most people don't realize most authors do not realize. I, as a track director, do not get given your email. I am not going to be able to reach out to you and go, hey, I have these 25 hours of programming. What would you like? Because I don't get given that information. Dragon Con takes privacy and information very seriously on the admin side, and I applaud them doing that, but sometimes it causes a little logistical nightmare for me.
Now that the programming has been locked out,
I have 41 hours of programming and only 30 panels. That tells you how much we're going to have going on in just my department.
Well, how long does it take from lockout till authors will start finding out what their schedules are?
So, okay. That's actually a super great question. Not a lot of people ask me. So lockout happens so that the Dragon Con overlords, such as Regina Kirby, can go through and conflict, and Carol Malcolm will help her with conflict checking, making sure that we do not have you in the 2 rooms in 2 different hotels at the same time. We also like to try and make sure that, if you are maybe an author with mobility issues, if we're asking you to come from the Hyatt and go down to alternate history, which is in the Sheridan, that's kind of a long walk.
Up the hill, another 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we try to conflict check all of those things. And so we also try and balance the workload a little bit. I know it may not feel that way for some, but we do try. So that's what's going to be happening. So this is the 21st, but on the 19th is when lockout happened. And for the next week or so, that is what the amazing Regina Kirby will be doing, and the amazing staff that works year round. Dragon Con only has maybe 5-6 people who work year round. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Everybody else is a volunteer. And then the first week in August is when Regina will send out and say, because consent matters, that's not a joke. I know I say it jokingly, but it does matter. She will send out an email and go, hey, these are your proposed panels. Do you agree to this or do you not? And there may be some authors who come and go, I already have a meeting with my publisher. I can't do this 2 o'clock. Or they may go, I don't know if you caught it, but I'm like busy for like 6 hours. I need a meal break.
Yeah. And some people are
our paneling at DragonCon, unlike Comic Cons, goes potentially 24 hours.
Wow.
So it could happen that way.
Oh, it was nice to get to wander around last year at DragonCon, check things out. But
I don't think that's happening for you this year, babe.
Huh?
I don't think that's happening for you this year, babe.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit.
Well, remember, you said you'd help with Page to Stage.
Well,
and that's all your. So you just signed away all of your Thursday.
I know for a fact that I'm one of the 3 MCs that's going to be at the Page to Stage on Thursday. I know I'm doing at least two post APOC panels sometime during the weekend. And I have no idea what else, but okay, yeah, I'm going to be.
I'm not allowed to tell you. That's the fun part.
I'll be your Huckleberry. Shit.
That's going to be very busy.
Extra snacks in the backpack. Gotcha.
Well, you signed up for the Fantasy Gather on Friday night too, dude.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm going to go there and I'm going to sell the shit out of the stock that I got.
So anybody who's listening to this and coming to DragonCon, Fantasy Gather happens Friday night. It's going to be in International South, which is in the Hyatt. And it is the best party. Think the quick rundown would be cocktail bar meets Scholastic Book Fair. We have authors. Some authors come in and sign books. Some authors just come in and sell. Some just come in to see what's going on. So it's a really great time to mingle and meet your favorite authors.
Craig Allen,
new ones.
Craig Allenson came and bought a copy of Trailer Park for me last year. You know, he wrote.
Larry Niven bought a book from Christopher Woods, and he about flipped out after he realized it was Larry Niven. He still hasn't lived that down.
Okay, so we're down to the last 10, 15 minutes or something like that. So starting with Alyssa, a good con story, something that's awesome that you'll never forget.
I don't know. Come back to me. Let me think.
Okay, David.
I mean, having only been to the 2 LibertyCons, I like back in the day, I was at a con for Star Trek and I met Marina Sirtis, but like that was no big deal. So I'd say in terms of LibertyCon, it was this year, man. It was this year, and it was doing the reading. That was the most fun I've had in a really long time. You know, as a self-published author, and just really kind of insulated and insular, and as John knows, like the Northeast is just a desert when it comes to conventions. Like there's nothing going on here. Yep. And so I get to go down there. I get to hang out with my brother, who I see basically once a year at the con. And, you know, being able to sit in that room, and then and Philip comes in and he's like, "Hey, I'm Philip, and we're reading." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then 3 people come in and they're sitting there, and I'm like, "All right, like, sure, what the hell? I guess I'm just like going to go for it and read my stuff." And I had them laughing, and then they're like, "Oh, we're all 3 Ravens people." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's cool." So like
You
that
have no
kind
idea
of
how
connection.
much I've heard about Space Pew Pew over and over and over.
I know
They
you were
fell in love with it. And they're like, "Dude, you need to go listen to this guy."
you were getting texts about Space Pew Pew while you're running from one panel to another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and look, like, but that's the kind of thing, is like, as somebody whose path was very different. Like I by any measure, you know, I talked to Bill Fawcett. I had my 15 minutes with Bill at the con, right? And you know, and I told him about my debut novel and my book, and he's like, "Look, you've done better than 90% of published authors because of the way you did it." But that was all outside of this community. And so being able to go there and to be able to integrate with the community, that was huge. So
Yep.
so that was really, really good. I'm very grateful for that.
I'd call on you, but you haven't been. Wait, no, over here. You haven't been to anything yet, right? At all.
No, not yet.
Oh, be nice to the baby.
Well, I mean, I need to find somebody down there to put him into contact with to get him to a con somewhere down there.
I know a guy.
So
You know,
anybody listening and that knows about conventions down in New Zealand, let me know so that I can hook that. Wait, no, hook that.
I know a guy in Australia.
I know a
is
hobbit.
Close, but I also think Matt's only slightly better than the lieutenant.
All right, Michael.
It's a hell of a lot closer than I am.
Yep.
I was sorry. What was the question?
Let's hook up.
Michael, your turn. Wait, no.
Yes.
Well, let me reach over. No, damn it. One of those experiences that you'll never forget from a con.
Well, I think I'll never forget, Timothy. I was a huge Timothy Zahn fan when I met him way back in the day, but I was also a massive David Weber fan already. And so meeting David, probably the highlight of that whole experience. Even though I spent a lot of time learning and I spent a lot of time meeting people that I'd known just on Facebook from writers groups and people that were working with some of the people I was working with doing ghosting. But yeah, the hugest thing was probably hanging out with David Weber. I look forward to meeting even more heroes at the next one that I go to. Not sure what that's going to be because next year's LibertyCon's already sold out. Wrong with you people.
It just started happening. Oh my God.
But it'll be nice though. I'd love to try Imaginarium because that's my hometown. Louisville, Kentucky is where I was born. And so I wouldn't even need to pay for a hotel. I could just stay with relatives. That'd be great.
Well, Imaginarium's it was maybe 400 people. It's still a small con. It is absolutely upside down. I mean, you've got authors and panelists who are running tables, but there's really no fans. So, getting some foot traffic of fandom in there.
But I will say this one, Imaginarium's done a pretty...
It would be nice to...
Imaginarium's done a pretty good job of getting his name out there.
Yes. They are building up. This is their 10th year. They've been building up, getting a lot of attention. We've won awards the last 2 years. I get to send this off.
They definitely like the Ravens.
Oh God, yes. And then
I mean, you guys are worth liking, so.
Yeah. That thing back there behind me, I don't know. Yeah, she ran up to the stage to grab this award, and you probably can't see the teeth marks in it because she decided she was going to chew on it.
Have I said I adore your children? Because
it seems apparently everybody does.
They're good peeps.
Rosie. Oh wait, yeah, you're right where you belong. Hey, Sergeant.
Okay, so this story, one day I'm walking down, and there's this guy with this little beardy dreadlocks and wearing this little motorcycle vest, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you want to write a book?" And he's like, "No, you're a goddamn Yankee. I ain't gonna work for you. Come down here in my territory." No. So seriously, my story. I met David Weber the first time. Not David Weber, David Drake. I'm a huge Hammer Slammers fan. Have been, a long time. And I met him at the Bain dinner, and I was talking with him. We had a good conversation about how writing for veterans is very cathartic. And I was kind of like a fanboy. I'm like, yes, sir, no, sir. Great. I'll shake his hand and all that stuff. And I turn around 10 minutes later, and I look over, and he's sitting at a table, and Karen is giving him a back rub. He's got this look on his face like he just snuck a girl into the barracks, right? He's just like, right? And afterwards, I'm like, do you know who that was? She's like, oh, yeah, nicest old man. He's really nice. I'm like, that was David Drake. She's like, who? I'm like, oh, come on. So then, like an hour later, she's at a panel with David Weber on what books kids should read. And they start having a conversation in the middle of the thing about, what books her daughter should read. And then afterwards, she walks over to him. His bodyguard's like, yeah, come on, go right through, right? And she winds up giving him a hug, and they're hugging and crying and stuff. I'm like, do you know who that is? She's like, no, nice old man. I'm like, David freaking. Then later that day,
Karen. Okay, you just need to send her to be you and sell books.
So later in the day, she's sitting at a table with a couple of people, And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And Karen's like, oh yeah, this is my friend Steve now, right? And I'm like, okay, Steve, you reached out. Yeah, I'm Steve Jackson. I'm like, Steve Jackson from Car Wars? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. Karen's like, oh, he's the nicest little old guy. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm not going to come here anymore. It's just
pretty soon she's going to start introducing you as a nice old man, and that's when
she probably will. You know what? Yeah, I get to wake up next to her. So
don't put it past her yet. She will.
No, but that is one of the great things about the convention. It's a good place for friends and people. So
we got
they don't know who I am.
Copley here. So, as a teenager, I made a fool of myself in front of John DeLance, Q from Star Trek Next Generation back in '92 or so.
I think we all make fools of ourselves. So,
every day.
With anything, Alyssa?
So no, the only thing is just I love doing these little cons, and I had a lot of fun just seeing everybody and reconnecting with everyone. The biggest thing that I've been to that I thought was really neat was I went to 20 Books last year, and it was just going into the room and seeing just so many authors sitting there at the welcome speech. That was really cool.
I've actually I got two. My first convention ever was LibertyCon XXX, LibertyCon 30.
I was there.
The last year of the Choo Choo. So
I remember that.
Me and the Word Witch, we were there. We went to the con suite. We got some sandwiches, and we're sitting there in between the trains, setting up on the stairs. There were some concrete steps that went up to the next level and all that, going back towards where the convention area was. And we're just sitting there eating and talking, and this old dude comes up and he starts talking to us, and we probably talked an hour and a half, something like that, I guess. Yeah, probably. I mean, we sitting there shooting the shit, and he had to go off to a panel. And like, well, yeah, okay, I got a panel I need to go to too. Well, it happened to be him up on the panel that I was going to, and that was my first introduction to Todd McCaffrey.
I remember that year,
and that was awesome. I got to reconnect with him at Superstars this last year. We were doing the cover copy class with James Artemis Owen, and Todd was sitting across the table from me, learning the same kind of stuff because he's going like completely indie. Most of the big guys are going indie in some way, shape, or form at this point because there's money to be made, and they don't have to deal with shitheads up on the top. And then that has always stuck out to me. It's like, we just sat there having a conversation. He didn't know me from anyone, and we just had a good conversation.
Oh, you got the Todd charm bomb.
Oh yeah, but he
does that very well.
The one that I have loved the most so far was DragonCon last year. Sitting out at the bar at the Westin, and Kevin J. Anderson comes down, sits down, hangs out. I bought him a couple beers, and we just talked shop. And seriously, we were sitting there for a couple of hours just talking shop over beers, no one really bothering us, and it was just two dudes, and that's where he was telling me about, he's got all this stuff back here that's already paying him, and it will continue paying him for however long. He's working on these that he's trying to get out, but he's always looking for that next gig. He's always trying to line up the next piece of work on down the line. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. He's always looking for that next gig so he can line up that next piece of work. So when he finishes this one, he knows he's got these other ones to finish. It's just like, okay, that's I never even thought about that, but that's a good piece of advice moving forward, trying to get there to where that's where I'm doing that for a living. I would love to be doing it for a living. Okay, so there's something. Ringo is going indie on Substack. New series starting with Not That Kind of a Good Guy superhero story. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
he's actually going Substack on that.
Yep.
World's changing pretty quick.
It's working for Cole and Onspach.
Yeah. Okay, that's Mark Christopher said that one. I'm not sure why it's not feeding through. At least we're getting comments up through there. Okay, so we are at an hour. So starting at the top, tell us again who you are and where we can find your stuff if you have anything you want to pimp. Doc first.
Okay, so you can find me aside from at DragonCon, you can find me on the Blasters and Blade podcast. I also have a presence on TikTok and Facebook. Those are really it for me social media wise, because I have a lot going on. But that's it. Blasters and Blades podcast. Check us out. We're on YouTube and all the other places.
Alyssa.
You can find me on my website, alyssacasto.com. I'm also on social media as well as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where I do Wonder Walk and talk about the wonder in daily life.
David.
Everything to connect to me is on davidbatterina.com. I've got a YouTube channel that's been rocking for about 4 years now, so I've got a lot of content on there. And sign up for the mailing list. The first chapter of Space Pew Pew gets available to you, unlocked, if you sign up for some less. So, but everything to connect to me is on there, Twitter and Instagram and the whole thing.
So. Okay. Peter.
Right. Well, I'm on Facebook and on Twitter, so you can find me on both. And other than that, yeah.
Well, you got your group too, right?
Yes. My Facebook, Peter. What is it? Peter Stanley, author on Facebook and obviously on Twitter as well. So slowly building up my web presence again.
Okay. Michael.
Okay. Well, you can find me at my website, michaellevoice.com, where you can connect with me on Facebook and Twitter. You can also get a sneak peek of the cover art for Galaxy's Most Wanted Book 1, which is again releasing this fall from Athon Books.
Holmesy.
Yep. So, like I said, Canon Publishing is my company, and we are at canonpublishing.us. And what do we got coming out? Fae Wars Anthology, and that's coming out soon. And then Shane just dropped a book, New Ashes book. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff. Hit us up on the website there, canonpublishing.us. And my own personal stuff is up on Amazon. And our fan group is the Command Post on Facebook. And we're on Twitter and I don't know, all over the place. So, but, yeah, that's where we're at.
I'm not sure who posted that. Fae Wars is available on Amazon.
That's James Copley. He's one of my writers. He wrote the third book in the Fae Wars series.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay, so, and William Joseph Roberts, you can find me at williamjosephroberts.com or 3ravenspublishing.com. Yeah, we got a whole lot of crap going on. We've got a Car Wars Kickstarter starting on August 1st. We have anthologies planned and all that good stuff in that. We have the 45 to 50K starting in the Bent universe. It started on Monday. So August 31st, get me a Bent novel, and you get possible first dibs at the next publishing slot.
Okay, wait. What is a bit novel for the audience?
Bent. Okay. Biologic enhanced nascent talent. This is superhero universe.
Oh, so a bent novel. I heard bit. B-I-T.
That accent thing,
auditory processing thing,
Sorry we all sound so weird, Peter.
It's so good.
If you want to challenge,
I'm the only one who sounds normal.
If you want to challenge, I have a cover I can show. If you want to challenge, you can shoot to, where is the picture? There it is. There's the original book, Annoyed with Lloyd by Christopher Woods. This is basically the Bible because somebody still hasn't finished his Bible. I'm angry with him.
It's a good book.
Okay, he lives in the South, so that has a lot of connotations.
So we're doing that August 31st. If you turn it in by then, that gives you a chance for the next publishing slot. If you don't finish it by then and you still finish it and want to turn it in. We'll still take a look at it.
You might get the second next.
Shut up. Okay. And all right, so one thing I do want to mention that was very cool that I found out at Imaginarium, Kyle and Gene over at Jumpmaster Press, they are doing boxes for box sets. They take a couple of copies of whatever books you want a box set, they measure them out, they build the box based on that. It was fairly cheap to get in on it, and you get like 25 boxes. I don't remember the price right off the top of my head, but it was reasonable, and I went ahead and put my quarter on the till for 4 sets, or four different boxes. So
I need that information.
Okay, I can send it to you. So go over to Jumpmaster Press. Well, yeah, there, jumpmasterpress.com. Tell Gene or Kyle, I don't know which one actually answers the emails, that Hillbilly sent you. I don't know if it'll do you any good. They might cuss you or something. I don't know. But they ask them about their box set. They've got a good deal going.
Is that a production run or is that a one-off, like one box set?
It's production run of like 25, and I want to say it was like all said and done was like 300 or 400 for all 25. It was a good pricing. All right, so don't forget to open calls on Three Ravens website. Take a look at those. Don't forget about our Discord server if you like Discord. The Squirrel's Nest for random story ideas that everybody drops in there. We got the Car Wars group on Facebook. Blah, 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 blah. And check out Sci-Fi Radio, Marked Up Editing, the Silly Lady Pepper Company, and the North Texas Troublemakers. And if you want to go to Superstars, if you use 3RP 2024, which is up on the sidebar of the Three Raven site, it gets you $100 off on a newbie pass to Superstars, which is
a lot of money off. That's nice.
Well, it's $900 for your first time around, too. It's pricey, but it's made to price out the looky-loos.
No. I will admit that is a convention that has definitely produced amazing talent out of it. You go, you learn, and then it's kind of like college. If you go, you learn, you can succeed. And if you go and you play around, we'll say.
It's a worthwhile convention, and you're not going to pay that and just go screw off. You're going to go there, you're going to try to learn, and you're going to try to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people do, and they bounce off, but
it's also a week. So for those who are literally calculating how much it is, it's a week.
Yeah, you start on like Tuesday if you go for the Garden of the Gods walk with Kevin G. Anderson.
It's
workshops start on Wednesday, and the actual conference starts on Thursday and runs till Sunday.
Yeah, I have some friends who've gone and done very well. It's pretty intensive.
Yeah, I love it. I will go back. I'm a speaking guest staff this year, so that's something different. Okay, so like, follow, and subscribe all these awesome people and Three Ravens Publishing and me. And a little reminder for all our veterans, cops, first responders out there, you are not alone. Reach out to a brother or sister. We all have someone who is only a phone call away.
What?
And where's the
If you're
button?
a vet in trouble, hit me up because I'm a vet that's not in trouble. So
where is Maya? I am disappointed.
I am a vet who will make time. Does that make sense, Michael?
Absolutely.
And here it is. Found the button. Bye.